What's going on, everybody? It's Bipolar Bear. Thank you all so much for checking out another video. Now, usually when I do videos, they're very light-hearted. I make a lot of jokes. But that's not something that I'm going to do today. Anxiety in Me, Part 4, I relapsed. Again. And that's okay. Let's throw something on and get to it. I don't know what's going on in the background. I'm just putting something in there whilst I just drone on for a little bit. So, I'm doing this video because I have spoken openly a lot about having anxiety, quite bad anxiety actually. It all started around, so about 10 years ago when my first child was born. Never really knew what it was at first, and it took a while for me to actually figure out what it was and how to start treating it. I originally didn't really get treatment for years after, because I just didn't know what it was. I just thought I felt nervous for no reason, what a gimp, big guy. But when you realise there is actually something that is wrong, then you start to take steps to solving the problem. And I'm doing this today because it's the 14th of December, and it is the 5th anniversary of my mother's passing. Now, I know, boo-hoo, right? But, I don't know, I just kind of thought it suited today, really, that I was going to talk about it. Because when it crept back up on me again, now, over the course of having anxiety, and it sounds like such a stupid thing, doesn't it? Like, I'm nervous, really, really nervous. Why? I don't know! What have you got to be nervous about? I don't know! And it's dead stupid. I had it from just like going anywhere, to going work, to going put petrol in the car. And to be fair, I've had ongoing battles with it. And the bit of advice I've always given myself is pay attention to when you aren't having anxiety, because you don't notice otherwise. You only really notice when you've got it, or when it comes back, or when it comes back with a vengeance, and you're kind of thinking, oh, fuck me, again? Now, to anybody who hasn't had it, anxiety for me is like when you're driving your car and someone nearly crashes into you, and you get in your chest, your knees go to absolute fucking potato. And it's like that over nothing, over minute things. I've got to go shopping. Where am I going to park? Anywhere. In a parking space. What if there isn't any? There will be. Why are you making situations that haven't happened? I don't know, I just do. Like, will you please stop now? And it's just stupid shit that just like keeps you up all night. I thought it's stupid shit that like keeps you up and has you worrying about nothing. And I've tried to use pills. I tried pills years ago, and they worked for a little bit, but they stop you feeling everything. And I mean everything. 2 examples. First one, your dick won't work. Well, the majority of us are blokes here, 98% of us. And judging by my analytics, we're all aged between 25 and 55. Alright? We want our dicks to work, okay? So, yeah, your dick won't work. That's useless. And then you lose not just a feeling of the anxiousness, which is like, oh, great, it's working. You literally have no feelings at all. Not a thing. Alright? And I'm open about it. I am autistic. And I don't have much empathy as is. I just physically can't have it. So to have even less, I know when someone's going through something and like how to try and approach that. But when people say, like I said, go back to when my mum died. People are like, oh, we're thinking about you. It's like, well, that does fuck all, doesn't it? Cheers. Oh, great. It's a similar thing. It's just something that I actually can't help. I mean, when I first started doing videos on camera, my eyes would be all over the place, and sometimes they still are. Like until you got used to staring at a camera and trying to make eye contact with the people that are watching, it's something that is actually really hard for me to do, and you just generally avoid it subconsciously. So, yeah, I was feeling nothing. And the reason I know that, and now for, someone of my stature, shall we say, I'm larger than your average human, and my biggest fear in the world is birds. I know, fucking dumb. I'm not scared of snakes, not scared of alligators. I lived in Florida for a long time, I'm not scared of any shit like that. But when it comes to birds, especially the little ones that flutter about like crazy, I don't know whether it's an autism thing or what, but I am fucking terrified, right? I'm terrified. One gets in my warehouse at work, that's fucking count me out. I can deal with rats. Rats, no problem. No doubt with that. Birds, no. Just send me to rubber. And I remember when I was on these things, a little bird flew in, and usually I'd avoid it. And I had the thing on my finger. This little robin. Cute as a button, harmless, literally can't hurt anything. In that time, I was okay with this, I was fine with this. Try do it now. Nope. Fuck off. Get away from me. Don't care. Send something big and horrible. I can deal with that. Not a bird, though. No. And also when I was on the tablets as well, the sertraline, I believe it was called, I would start having hallucinations. Now, and you're probably thinking, hallucinations? Ooh. No, not the good kind. I assume. I don't know. I don't do drugs. But what I was seeing were things that I thought were dead real. Now, I'm not talking about, unicorns and donkeys. I'm talking driving home from work and seeing a little girl stumble into the road, getting mowed by a car and having all her insides over the dual carriageway. And then stopping and getting out and nearly getting hit yourself because you swear you've fucking seen it. And then trying to explain that, it just makes you sound like you're on absolute fucking crack. And it was at that point that I knew that the pills had to stop. So I stopped the pills, and that was around the same time that my mother died, funnily enough. And, well, I've been on and off with anxiety. I'm always going to be open about it. I've had it. I have it. I don't deal with it on a daily basis at all. But it's still something that's there. And it's still something that occasionally rears up. And when it rears up, oh my god, it rears fucking up big time. Monstrously. And to anybody, I'm just going to take a break from that for a second, but to anybody who is having anxiety issues, I can't speak about depression because I've never had it. Not that I know of anyway. We all have days where we feel a bit blue. It happens. Alright, but I've never noticed that I've been depressed or known within myself that I've been depressed, I know I've had anxiety, and then I know how to deal with it. And it puts your life on hold sometimes, things that you really want to do. And if it stops you a couple of times from doing something that you want to do, whilst it shouldn't, that is okay. I relapsed. I let it stop me doing things that I wanted to do. It's not the great, but it's okay. You're human. We're human. Shit happens. It's not about how hard you get kicked. It's not about how hard you fall on your fat ass. It is about getting up and fucking cracking on. And if you can keep taking hits like this and still get up and put one step in front of the fucking other and still go on and put a smile on and make out that fuck all's wrong, then you're doing a fucking fantastic job. And, you've got to remember what a good job in life you actually do. Everybody will focus on the negatives. Everybody. And that is one thing that I've learned to do. And learning to do that, I swear, has saved me a lot of what could have been potentially longer spouts of it. I'll never say, ooh, it saved my life. It's never been that dramatic. I've never even once thought about the old... Never. That was a very insensitive way to go about that, Bear. I do still like to make jokes, don't forget. And if I can take the piss out of myself, then I will, obviously. And, yeah, whilst I've never been down that road, you never know how bad something will truly get. And I've always, like I say, the best thing I ever learned. Look forward to the little things. Look forward to a takeaway. Look forward to a gaming session with the boys. Look forward to getting in and have your kids dragging you around the house because they want to sing along to another Dan Bull Minecraft song and they want you to be the zombie. Things like that. Watching Rick and Morty with the wife. Just watching a dumb film. Just make the most of them moments, because when it does go tits up and the anxiety does kick back in again, you're going to use them as ammo to fight this bastard off. And admittedly, I've done this video before a couple of weeks ago, and I was kind of looking back on it, and whilst what I said was similar to this, I don't really thought it had a positive outcome of it, because we allow ourselves to beat ourselves up so fucking hard, dude. Like, absurdly hard, and we shouldn't. Because, yeah, I'll be real with you. When my anxiety kicked back in, this is probably about a month ago or more. And usually, like, you know, you get a bit blue, like anniversary, your mum died and whatnot. You know, I kind of felt like I was ripped off a bit because I was only 27 when she died, but people have lost their parents earlier than I lost mine, so whatever, I'm cool with it, you know. Alcoholism is a very real thing. Yes, my parents were alcoholics. One of them still is, actually. Not as bad as what he used to be, though. And when I say alcoholic, everyone's like, no, it was fine. They were the good kind. They weren't like the rapey kind or the molesty kind or anything like that. They were just kind of like, go away, play games upstairs, you know, mummy and daddy having another bottle. And, well, it is what it is. I actually thought that was normal growing up, being around it all the time. And if anything, that's probably what makes me somebody who is, well, teetotal. I just don't touch the stuff. So, and it's not because I don't like it. I've just seen the damage that it can do firsthand, and I'm kind of like, well, you know, I do like my food, and I don't. So that's just something I don't really want to go down. So if I can avoid it, then I will. I've also got a very addictive personality too, and gambling was also a fun one. Fucking love gambling. That's why I don't do it, because it is risky. So, back to the anxiety part. So yeah, it got me again, and it kept me for a couple of weeks doing things that I don't like. Now, I'm sure people say, oh, why don't you talk about it? Why don't you talk about it? It is hard for blokes to talk about. It genuinely is. It is really hard for blokes to talk about, especially when this, because it just sounds so stupid. Like, I'm really, really nervous. Why? I don't know. What have you got me nervous about? I don't know. You know, like, people have genuine reasons to be anxious about things. People have, you know, fucking hell. At the minute in this country, just having your fucking lights and your heating on costs you a small fortune, dude. You know, and it's coming up to Christmas. Kids are expecting what Santa's going to bring them because he gets all the fucking plaudits. And it is hard. You know, like I said, we don't congratulate ourselves on the mini victories that we should. And yes, that is just doing your job as a parent. You know, that is the bare minimum. Well, yeah, at least you'd have thought if you'd have seen what's gone on in Surrey this past week. And I mean, fuck, that's just tragic, you know. And I'm kind of thinking, nah, some people set their standards way too low as far as the bare minimum goes. But, you know, like I said, even doing the minimum at the minute, keeping the lights on and keeping the heating on, and making sure everyone's fed and looking forward to Christmas, that is a big job at the minute because how much things cost. And I'm fortunate because I'm financially sound. You know, I'm all right. And people aren't, and I think that is something, if I was, you know, if I was in debt or anything like that, then that is something to be really, really anxious about, but I'm not, and that's what always confuses me. You know, my kids are healthy, you know, I'm in a great relationship, my wife's fucking mint, you know, what have I got to be anxious about? And that's, every time I ever spoke to people about this, that was the first question that they asked. So sometimes it's like, you know, going to people probably isn't the answer sometimes. Going to a professional definitely is. But, like, you know, talking to your mates about it, they'll be like, oh, yeah, alright, type thing. And, oh, I'm here if you need me. And it's like, well, I do! But literally offers nothing. And it is hard for blokes. It is. And like I say, I do recommend speaking to a professional, a doctor, mental health expert, anything like that. That will guide you on your way. But maybe you don't want to talk to your mates about it, and that is okay too. Alright? However you go about this, without... is okay. Alright? However you get through it, without... again... is okay. However you decide to get past this without... I'm taking this too far. But you know what I mean? It's okay. If you hit stumbling blocks along the road, that is okay. It happens. We're fucking human, man. You know, we're not perfect beings. Right? Shit goes south sometimes. And it's just like my aim there. It's just the nature of the beast, man. And I beat myself up about it this time. I did. Really fucking badly. I was like, you're fucking pathetic. You couldn't... It was a couple of football games. I'm a huge Port Vale fan. Huge. Fucking love them. And it stopped me from going 2 games. 2 games that I really wanted to go, but it stopped me going. I was like, you fucking pussy. Coming up with an excuse like, oh, I don't feel very well. Oh, I'm doing Christmas stuff, like putting the Christmas tree up. And to be fair, my wife put them up quite early, and that was like back in the middle of November. But the reality of it was, my anxiety was like, oh, you don't really want to do it, do you? I'm like, yes, I want to go. It's like, well, tough shit, you're not. I don't want to stay home. I want to go. I want to go and watch it. Well, guess what? It fucking sucks to be you. And I let it win. I did. On that day, I let it win. I was like, oh, you know. And first time, I was like, oh, maybe it wasn't that. Maybe, I do feel a bit off. I feel a bit under the weather. And it's like, why are you lying to yourself? Why are you so full of shit? Like, you can put on a facade and lie to literally anyone you want. Why are you lying to your fucking self? That just makes it even fucking worse, dude. And then, when you let it win, and then it gets worse, and then it starts to spiral again, and you think, oh my god. And then, but if you just take a second, because it can get out of hand very quickly. Now, with having anxiety again, I missed 2 football games over the space of about 2 weeks. Not the biggest ordeal. I've had it a lot worse, and I beat the shit out of myself for that. I honestly did. And then thinking back after, there was a make or break for me, and I'm glad that I made the right decision. Now, obviously, whilst being a Port Vale fan, I love my music. I am a metalhead, primarily. But I do fucking love Taylor Swift as well, and that is also fine, okay? And there was a concert, 30th of November, and I did not want to go. One of my favourite bands. I've seen them, this has been the 7th time I've seen them. And I did not want to go. And all the way leading up, like, I can't go, feel ill, don't feel ill. No, you do, you feel ill, you're going to be sick. You're not going to be fucking sick, man, there's been nothing wrong with you for weeks. Fucking get over it and go, pussy. And that's how I have to get over it. I have to beat myself up the other way. Like, if it starts to creep back in, and it's like have a conversation with yourself, it's the weirdest thing. And I'm like, just fucking go. And as horrible as it sounds, please just fucking man up and just take this one. And just fucking do it. Because when you get there, you'll settle down, everything will be great, and you're going to fucking love it. And you're going to have a great time. And after all the arguing with myself, I went to the concert, it was fucking amazing, and I had a great time. And to cement that so much, I've been another concert since, and I'm happy to report, even with, I'll tell you what, this was last weekend at the time of recording. I'm recording this on the Monday, I think it's going live on the Wednesday, and literally last night, we were oohing and ahhing, because again, it was playing up again. It wasn't nowhere near as bad, but it was kind of like, the Christmas market's on in Manchester, trains are going to be packed. And we could just drive, to be fair. No, you don't want to drive. Actually, to be fair, you do make a good point. I don't want to drive. Let's get the train. Fuck it. We'll just book train tickets and it'll be fine. All right. But on like the train websites, oh, it's going to be busy. It's going to be busy. It's going to be busy. Might not be able to sit down. Well, it's like, hang on. It's fucking Crewe to Manchester. All right. It's hardly as if we're in Delhi, India, where like they're hanging off the fucking roof. All right? It'll be fine. And yeah, it was fine. I had a fucking great time. Loved every minute of it. And it's stupid though, isn't it? Like when you take a step back and think, like, what am I actually doing? Why are you letting this win? Why are you letting it get to you, man? Why? It's fucking dumb. And it is dumb. But when it hits you hard. And if you have to take a step back, and if you have to miss a thing to take a step forward, that's fine. It's a symptom of being human. And that's all it is. As long as you don't let it win. Never let it win. Because, yeah, it'll win a battle every now and then. Don't let it win the war. It'll stop you from doing a couple of things. I miss 2 football games. I go every home game. Apart from the ones where I genuinely am ill, or the one that I missed because I genuinely had a fucking anxiety that day. It's just decided to be an absolute twat. And the FA Cup game that I missed. It's no big deal. I'll see at least 20 more games. It's fine. I didn't miss the concerts. I went to both of them. And I've booked up to see another 3 in the coming months. And I'm going on holiday in a few weeks. It'll be fine. Get past it. Yeah, we struggle sometimes. And it will win a few battles. And a couple of times, it will beat you up. And it'll beat the fucking shit out of you. But it's about bouncing back. every time you get knocked off the horse, say, fuck it, you're a big cunt. Climb the foot back on. If it kicks you in the bollocks again, guess what? Kick it back, the bastard. Fucking show it who's fucking boss, man. And then just try your best to go about it. We need to start congratulating ourselves on the mini victories. We genuinely do. The little things. And yeah, that's standard, and we should be doing them. Cool. But you can pat yourself on the back for it. You can say, you know what, fucking smash that today. You know, went there, felt fucking great. I had a great time. And the thing is, for me, when I go to a football game, especially if we win, you come out and you get all the things that were bothering you off your chest in that moment where you celebrate a goal. And it's great. It's euphoric. I go apoplectic. I lose my shit when Vale score. It's fucking amazing. And it's like at concerts. You know, went to see Shinedown, went to see Bad Walls. Fucking love them bands. Amazing. And you just know you're just there pumping, just getting all this fucking stress and energy out of your system. And you come out cleansed. And you're thinking, I was going to let this stop me from doing that? Nah, man. We're all going to face mental battles on our one long journey to the grave. And sometimes it will get the better of you from time to time. But don't beat yourself up about it, because that just makes it worse. It's just a symptom of being human. And it may win some battles. As long as it doesn't win the war, you'll be alright. You know, we've got to start, whilst keeping a standard for ourselves and our families, and for people who look up to you to follow, we've got to start being that little bit easier on ourselves. Because legitimately, post-COVID, energy crisis, Christmases, money's tight and everything else, things are genuinely tricky to navigate at the minute. But it will get easier. And like I say, it's not about the destination, it's all about the journey. And if there's a few bumps in the road, there's a few bumps. Can't always be plain sailing, can it?